You can actually almost predict it like clockwork now. There's been another story came out today about Reo Hatate and a club down south looking at Reo Hatate allegedly this summer. Wait till I tell you what team it is. You'll never believe it. And also, you remember David Tanner. Yep, this former Sky. What's he doing with himself now? Nothing. He's bumping his gums on Twitter saying that VAR is for Celtic. We're going into this story first because the Rangers supporting one-time Sky presenter has said that Celtic had not conceded a penalty before the introduction of VAR, but have lost 7 since October. Here is what it actually means. Being a big club, Celtic got away with a lot of refs. We're influenced by the crowd, by the pressure, and by the media. 7 fouls equals 7 penalties. Oh, he's hurting. He's another hurting one that's came out the closet. It's actually quite funny, David, because if you'd actually watched some of the Celtic penalties, you would shake your head in disbelief at some of the penalties. But never mind the Connor Goldson hand of God's moment over at let's not even talk about the other side. The fact that if you'd actually watched the games, but all he sees with his blue tinted specs is nothing, because let's face it, he's not working at Sky anymore. So tell me in the comments, what is David Tanner, the Rangers supporting media man, doing with himself these days? It'll be interesting to find out. Back to the Reo Hatate story, and as I said this morning, they're all going to start coming out the woodwork now as it gets closer to the end of the season. But it's now said that, guess what team? Like, you're not even. It's not even funny now. Brighton, with a stadium of 30,000 and get an average attendance of about 29,000. Fair enough, they are sitting 7th in the league, but come on, Brighton are going to come in for Reo Hatate this year. The manager that took over from the guy that went to Chelsea. How's Chelsea doing? That went well for them, didn't it? Anyway, he said that the Seagulls will make a move for Reo Hatate in the summer, and they will test the Celtic resolve of the board. And it's also stated that other Premier League sides will be watching the hugely talented star who's been ever present in the midfield. I can't see Reo Hatate going. I think he's going to be one of these players that Ange Postecoglou, he will stay. They're very honourable, the Japanese guys, and I think they will stay with the manager as long as they're told. He obviously cost Celtic 1.4 million. What kind of offer would it take for Celtic to sell him? He's struggling with the hamstring injury just now, and he's not been spotted back at Lennox Town. He's not going to go anywhere. It's just paper talk. It's just, it's who done this story? Lindsay Heron, sports editor. I can't see this happening either. And especially at Brighton, you're not going to leave a club that's going straight into the Champions League to play for a club that gets 30,000. And let's face it, they're having one lucky season. You know they're going to be bottom of the English Premiership next year. It's always the case. I'm going to state facts now. If Reo Hatate gets sold this summer to Brighton, dance about naked on YouTube. That's never going to happen. Anyway, back to the David Tanner thing. What do you think about that? David Tanner saying that that VAR was working against Celtic. That it says that the league, the referees were working for Celtic. Said no one ever. Especially Paul Larkin, and if you look at Paul Larkin's documentary, you'll understand why. Anyway, in other Celtic FC news, Albion Ajeti, remember him, he's got 12 months remaining on his contract, and he will be back at Celtic this summer. That's saying, I think they'll just cut his contract short. I can't see him. I think they'll take a cut price deal and get him out the door. West Ham must be still laughing at the money that Celtic paid for them. So on that note, it's all about transfers. And they're trying to get Celtic players out the door. I did say that in this morning's video. Did say that it's going to get worse and worse, and they're going to try and talk everyone out the door. But never mind, because we never stop.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up